This video is going to be very short and straightforward. I just want to show you the best liquidity. So follow me. Let's go to the chart. So guys, liquidity is a very important concept if you're trading the SMC strategy, which is smart money concept. You already know that if we get a very clean break of structure, no matter the time frame, you can decide to take your entries from any time frame of your choice. But for me, I take my entries from 15 minutes. So after doing my top-down analysis, and I'm trying to position for my entries, I need my liquidity present. Because if you overlook it, you may actually turn to the liquidity. And as we are waiting for price, because this is a bullish, break of structure, as we are waiting for price to come back into your zone for you to take an entry, price will have to do a major retracement to the downside. And as it's doing that retracement, price may develop, liquidity before it would now tap in and move to the outside. See, this liquidity is important. It can be created when price is, trying to retrace, and maybe it would look as if it is about to, leave you and move to your direction, and then price would retrace and clear everything. Now, this particular one is there to actually, tricking you into taking an early entry, only for you to think that the price is leaving you. And if you've not controlled your, fear of missing out, you may likely jump in, and then price will give you a little hope that it's moving to your direction. And if you don't close early, it will just clear you out, then tap into your right zone and still move to your direction. So you need to be patient. It's not just about knowing the theory aspect of the strategy. We need to learn how to use it smartly. You need to learn how to wait, because there are times the market will play with your emotions, and it won't reveal to you to see if you have the, patience to wait. Now, there are also when price, when it will be created, which is the liquidity.
When it will be created, it will just be there. It will not happen where the replacement is happening. There's already a key zone above your zone, or, below your zone if it's a sell setup, and then price will have to clear that before tapping in. So don't be tricked into taking an entry. So this is just a simple illustration of how liquidity may look like on the chart, but I'm going to show you guys, few examples of some of the trades I have taken and how I pay attention to it. I have the confluences I wait for, and they are very important to me. So that's why I don't really take, too much stress. Like, I don't have the issues of over trading because I know what I'm waiting for. And once I see that, I don't hesitate. So let me show you guys some trades I've been able to take applying my concepts, clearly. All right, traders. So look at this trade from Bitcoin. So you can see everything that is actually going on here. But then you need to learn how to stick to, the extreme zone. Now, you can see I got this overall break of structure here. And then this is another break of structure. Now, this particular setup, there's a lot of liquidity sitting, because all this consolidation happening here, must have trapped a lot of traders into taking entries. For example, this break of structure here, some traders would have positioned here to take an entry. And then you can see how price reacted a little bit, but then stops them out. Another break of structure, just a lot of traps. But then you need to learn to know what you were actually waiting for. So you just need to do is position at your extreme zone, allow price to clear all the liquidity. So once price, clear all the liquidity sitting, it will not have any other choice than to tap into your POI zone and just move straight to your direction without any stress. So you can see how it played out. On this particular trade, all this liquidity cleared, price moved strongly to the downside, and immediately it tapped into the zone there. You can see we don't have any other liquidity, for market to clear.
Market as, taken all the liquidities, and that was why it tapped and just moved straight to our direction. Let me also show you guys another trade. Okay, another clean trade from gold. So you can see this one. This one is pretty much simple. No, too much complications like the last example I showed you guys from Bitcoin. Sometimes on the chart, it would be very clean and very obvious for you to see. And then sometimes it will be very tricky. So don't expect it to always be simple. So it's not just about the illustrations. That's why I don't like doing too much illustrations. I will come to the chart and show you, what it looks like and then how you need to actually position. So you can see this one, a very clean break of structure to the upside. Now, from this break of structure, this is an order block. We have an order block here, and then we have the extreme level order block. So you can also see that when pricing retraced, it tapped into this order block and still print out reasonable movement. And then most traders may think, it's ready to move from here, but it print out reasonable pips, but then dropped. So this order block actually appeared here as an inducement liquidity, which price, should actually clear and tap into our zone, which happened here. So as you can see, price was also trying to tap into our zone. This is for FVG traders. You can see price reacted off, imbalance and tried to push up. and created another liquidity, which price also cleared. So learn to be patient. You may think trading is very difficult, but you're the one making it difficult for yourself. Because if you learn to be patient and, calm down to get a very clean setup for yourself, you will see that the losses will reduce and you would have, better results. So you can see after price cleared all those liquidities, if you check here, all my confluences are intact.
Price was bullish. That's the market structure. This is just, the trade from 15 minutes, but reading the structure from the high time frame, the market was bullish. And I saw a reason to get in. Break of structure, my FVG intact, which the FVG was created, by my order block, and then liquidity. And what happened? Price tapped in. Then you will soon need to learn to have the mind to hold. Inside this particular trade now, there was a lot of entries. How to leverage in. But that's not what we are talking about today. Because inside this movement, we would have taken entries from here, and entries from here too to maximize profit. But that will be a video of another day. But you can see how price, cleared the liquidity, cleared everything and tapped in and moved to your directions. So just learn how to, follow simple rules and stick to those rules and then print out good money. Then let me also show you guys a few more examples before we wrapped it up. Okay, so this is a sell setup, a sell example for you to also know how to position for it when you are seeing reasons to, sell. So you can see we got a very clean break of structure. This is actually, a sell continuation entry. A very clean break of structure here. Now you can see this beautiful order block here. So a lot of traders may have positioned here, but this is actually an inducement for you to take an early entry. And you can also see that price got there, rejected, or it still cleared it as liquidity and tapped into the right order block where you should actually position. And now looking at this strong momentum here, you would also see we got an aggressive break of structure to the downside because this type of candlestick is a very healthy candlestick. So which created, an order block here. So here you can also see the last break of structure price created. So if we are doing internal structure analysis, you also noticed that price has given a change of character. So which was why, take profit was positioned here. Normally, take profit should be at the point of retracement, somewhere here. But seeing this particular order block, we don't need to do as if it's not there. You need to be smart with your entries, or else price will just collect back the profit it has given to you. Don't be greedy when taking your trades. You need to be smart. It's not just about knowing the theory of the strategy. You need to be smart when using it, but make sure your confluences are intact. You get the point? So we're going to wrap it up with this last example. So it's also a very clean, setup from gold. So just make sure whenever you are taking your trades, it is neat like this. If it's neat like this, you already know what you are doing on the chart. Just make sure all these things are intact, and then you take your trades without being too attached and allow the market to print out the result for you. You're just trying to force out this when you don't have anything there. Hope you get the point. But then, once you do your analysis, you see your break of structure. You see your order block that created the break of structure. Actually, I have a lot of videos explaining order blocks, but more will be dropping too. But then, if you check this particular setup now, you will also see that this break of structure, you can see there's an order block here. And if you are not patient enough, you may want to position here because you are rushing to lose your money. Not even rushing to make money. When you have a better order block below here, so this is actually the liquidity. So before you rush to position for that, your entry, look out for your liquidity. It's important. Look out for your liquidity. But once market clears that, check there won't be any other liquidity for price to clear. Then what will the market do? It would just, start moving to your direction, whether you are buying or selling. And whenever you're doing it, apply proper risk management. Just stick to this. This strategy, I have been using it for years, and it has given me great result. I also have a lot of friends and mates, who are using this same strategy to also make good money for themselves. So the aim is to make trading, simple for you. So don't try to overcomplicate things. Wait patiently to get a very good setup and make good money for yourself. So that's just it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. I wish you luck. Bye-bye.